Knicks and the Miami Heat have never liked each other. In last year's playoffs, things got out of control as passions ran high and fists flew on the court. In the end, Miami was tougher and sent the Knicks home. New York wants revenge in a bad way, and today they get that chance. It's the Miami Heat versus the New York Knicks in a grudge match on NBA Raw.
To Childs. Childs, oh, nice, nearly lost control. Allen Houston nearly brought the crowd out of its seat, and Mills foul going in.
Here. Now we all know that the impulse of guys at this Marley off the screen. Mourning getting the offensive rebound, and he is fouled by Cummings. A two-shot foul. Cummings with a hard foul on Alonzo Mourning. You can't argue with that one. This is out of Pat Riley's playbook. Now here it is right now. Now just watch as Mourning goes to step for the two-power dunk. All right, they come right across the arms. Hey, that's playoff basketball right there.
And Karl Malone shipped a nasty blow over to the Admiral. That'll cost him $5,000 and a few lost friends. Everybody's been hitting on the Nuggets all season, and not else when people act like this. Head coach Jeff Van Gundy saw his team lose a controversial game on Sunday against their bitter rivals from Miami. And you can see that match on tomorrow's 24/7.
Style, time to kill or be killed.
Miami's big man Alonzo Mourning got frustrated by his foul trouble.
He said he better not, he's too little. Shaquille throws it hard off Matt. Everybody's kind of been waiting for some fireworks. You remember that Geiger hacked Shaquille in preseason, aiding him in breaking that thumb, but so far there's nothing near the kind. They were, I don't know if they are now, but they were hangout buddies a little bit.
The NBA's register is ringing again. Charles Barkley is fined $7,500 for calling Sunday's referees terrible. Sir Charles said, "The officials took all my aggression away." Yeah, right.
This first quarter. Marv Albert, Matt Gukas, and Ahmad Rashad from Chicago. Beautiful lead thrown by Brian Shaw, who just checked in. Penny Hardaway also took a shot in the mouth in the process.
Tough defender Scottie Pippen. He just drop-stepped him and spun to the basket. And Brian Shaw, who throws that pass well, but as Brian Hill, the coach of Orlando, always tells Brian, he said, "Oh, you'd have so many turnovers if you were throwing to normal people, but when you throw them to Penny Hardaway and Shaquille O'Neal."
Hardaway. Offensive foul. Penny Hardaway called for a second, and now being ushered aside by Shaquille O'Neal as he had something to say to Dick Pavetta.
Well, Penny Hardaway, thinking he had an opening here, seeing that his lane was blocked off to the basket, just trying to draw contact. And when Shaq was out of the lineup, this is why Penny Hardaway was getting to...
At 5, Kerr got himself trapped and was pushed. Horace Grant reporting back, replacing Dennis Scott.
I hate that when that happens, when Shaq hits you in the back of the head, trying to steal the ball. Mistook Steve Kerr's head. There's a headache for tonight.
Oh, yes, and third foul.
He's a volatile little guy. Starks has been known many times to blow up, and when he does, usually he loses his cool.
John Starks arguing that he went for the ball in the play. I think he did, but then getting out of control up in the air, just grabbed on for anything.
Oh, John Starks just hit with a technical foul as he slammed his foot at the net bench, and now out of control. He ejected. And it looks like Anthony Mason is headed back to the locker room.
It's the man who can, get knocked down and got to get back up. And I always thought that the most thing was going to happen to me during the season was trouble with my finger. As you go through life, you're going to have obstacles. And I like to think I'm a better person, better basketball player, and a better man from it. There's no question I want to win a title. Individual.
The Suns were not as bright in Salt Lake City, with Carl the Mailman Malone looking a first-class package.
I niekryty pod
Świetnie grają piłką po obwodzie. No i teraz na dodatek jeszcze obydwaj zrobili sobie krzywdę. Klein i Barkley, ale Barkley, mając kłopoty z kręgosłupem, widać, lapnął strasznie mocno, to było bolesne.
Zatrzęsła się podłoga w Delta Center.
Ale popatrzmy, bo tu podciął go
Klein.
Prawie taki koszykarski.
Lakers win over their city partners, the Clippers, was pretty straightforward. Except for another game ejection for coach Del Harris. He says he now ranks 8th on the all-time ejection list.
But he's not really good from any place. He just gets you points from every place on the court, but he has no certain spot.
Knicks by 11 after the Johnson free throws. And a New York foul on the other end, and now Childs and Hill mix it up a little bit.
Well, New York likes to play a little rough. They've adopted the attitude that the Pistons used to have. The Pistons used to be the bad boys. They used to be the rough and tough team. Pat Riley came from Los Angeles after we beat them in L.A. He came to New York, and he put the same type of bad boy attitude into the Knicks, and they still have a little of that left over.
Sealy on Childs. Houston screening for him. Now Sealy takes Allen on a switch. 10 on the 24. Houston baseline throws up a lunging shot and is fouled by Sealy, who's pretty close.
And Larry Spriggs over Tripucka. And a foul, it'll be against the Pistons. And it's going to be against Bill Laimbeer. It'll be his second personal.
Yeah, we're going to see that foul as Laimbeer is putting a body on Kareem. Kareem throws a little elbow in the chops, but the foul will be charged to Laimbeer. Ooh, that hurt.
Son 3-2, Sayuse, pero hubo falta personal sobre Eli. Vaya hachazo que recibió Eli de Xavier McDaniel.
Try to increase that lead. Olajuwon with a bad shot. They're going to call it out from behind the basket. It'll go over to Sacramento. 28 seconds remaining.
And Peterson and Klein had unkind words for each other in that last exchange.
Watch again. Olajuwon behind the basket. You can see it hit in the back of the basket. Paul Mahalik right on top of it. Peterson throwing his arms around.
Loose ball. Rivers has it, and he's hit hard by Olajuwon, who goes over to Doc. He was hit in the eye. And Doc is hurting.
It's all right. You walk over here.
And they're literally dragging him off the court. Rollins and John Battle.
That was the double team, and Olajuwon in frustration tries to re-steal the ball and just slams right into Doc, hitting him in the head, in the eye. But I'll tell you what, Olajuwon is not seeing much daylight, and right now, either is Doc Rivers.
Rivers appears to... Rivers being tended to is Peterson, and Battle went flying, and the Hawks will go to the line, and they're applying an ice pack behind his neck.
Let's see it again. There's Rivers, goes for the ball, and there's Olajuwon just trying to re-steal it. It hits Doc right in the forehead, in the eye area. And I'll tell you, I mean, this guy wanted to play this game so bad.
Cooper, plenty of time for the three. He's missed two now from that distance, and another fast break. Danny Ainge on the front end, and a foul. And Ainge was hit hard. Michael Cooper. And this game is starting out with the kind of physical style we have seen in NBA Finals past.
You sure this isn't Daytona? I'm telling you, they're zipping it up down the court. Here's Ainge, eludes one man, but Cooper says, I can block anything. But Danny Ainge in the front.
It off. El rebote, como no, de Dennis Rodman, la penetración, Isaiah Thomas, la falta personal que recibe el mítico base de los Detroit Pistons.
Que está casi.
Mira, mira, mira.
Le
El
deja el
corte
recadito.
y en la cara, ¿no?
Sí, ha sido drilling, ¿no? Complicado, así que no te caes mal, porque aun siendo muy fan de los Knicks, nos ha hecho un buen agujero, a pesar de que siga estando presente, por mucho que no quieran, ¿no?
Mismatch there. Isaiah had no chance. They get it inside to Willis. The jumper, not there. And Lambier muscles his way and fouls out of the game. And he is really ticked.
Now, there was a lot of contact on that play. I'm not sure. Tree was trying to get to the offensive boards, and Lambier, you'll see right there in your screen, he's going to be boxing him out. Can't see what he did with his right arm. He might have just pushed Tree Rollins out of bounds. But obviously, he's a little upset. Right here, we'll be able to see from this angle what he does with that right arm. Push
4 points. 107-103.
McDaniel is open. That's a little beyond his range. And A.C. Green was hanging from the net, but I think Chambers belted him from behind.
No, that wasn't Chambers.
He has a string on the basketball.
Rollins inside, elbowed Lambier. That's the third personal on Rollins. There's the elbow. Lambier making sure that O'Donnell saw it.
Absolutely.
Blows until the final bell.
And Antonio Davis is bleeding, so he's going to have to come out of the game and replaced by Adrian Caldwell.
This is when the Orlando Magic.
There, the stitches on the lower lip of Antonio.
Sura inside and a clean block. Sura gets up and Cleveland wants a timeout. Sura thought he got fouled, and now Mike Fratello hollering. They want a 20-second timeout.
Wow, what a block on this play. Sura comes on in. Michael slaps the ball out of his hand, a 360 pirouette, and down he goes.
And now they want a full timeout. 4:07 left in the first half. Cavaliers lead at 32 to Silver move. 6 seconds left. 5. MJ double team foul.
Oh! And he said to Bobby, he gives Bobby Sura some stuff on that one.
Wow.
The jump shot from the baseline. Wow. And the foul. And the foul. Michael spins, goes over on the side. Sura gives him a little fake bump and in the hole, and then Michael had a few words to say.
And here come the Lakers again. KJ had to go there. A shot clock was not reset on the block. Magic thought he was fouled there. Technical foul, and now he just bumped the official, and he's gone. Thought he was fouled, voiced
his displeasure, and there's the bump. That is referee Scott Foster.
Chance to see the tape. What do you think?
Well, I think I tried to get in front of him, and I accidentally bumped into him. So it was my fault. I should have got kicked out. There's no excuse for it. Now, I feel bad for my teammates, but I know with Nick being kicked out and Rodman butting the head, the referee earlier, that things like that shouldn't happen. I know better. I've been in this league too long.
Okay, thanks for talking to us again, Irvin. Greg?
It's off. Worthy clears. Breaking is Scott and Cooper. Here's Scott. And he's taken down by Malone.
Don't worry about it. Byron, just go to the foul line. Don't say anything to Mr. Malone.
He's a tough kid. He grew up not far from the Forum. It wasn't an easy place to grow up.
Backup for John Stockton throughout the series as Karl Malone is fouled by Rambis and Chambers. And Malone and Rambis having words. One thing Cotton Fitzsimmons says he likes about Kurt Rambis is that he willingly gives his body up.
Well, part of that philosophy is make the Phoenix Suns spend energy moving their feet on defense rather than offense.
And Joe Crawford signals an offensive foul on Karl Malone, and we've also got a timeout.
Juggler.
Bobby Jones knocks the ball away from Robinson, who answers with a jumper. Cliff Robinson, 19 points. And Rulin has to be separated from Clement Johnson.
Better watch out there, Jeff. That might be an iceberg.
Tries a three-point shot, and Cliff Robinson fighting inside. Knocked away. Catlett is fouled. Why is Roundfield trying a three-pointer at that juncture? I have no idea.
Your guess is good as mine, but it was way off the mark. Robinson picks it off, was short. He misses the inside shot, but now you're going to see what develops on that rebound. He gets caught underneath Cliff Robinson, doesn't have the ball, tries the fanciest of moves, and there's Catlett swinging an elbow, and Robinson saying, you can't do that.
Catlett is holding on to his right elbow as Robinson goes to the bench with 4 fouls with his 25 points.
Now watch Charles getting the position before the shot's taken. McHale tried to box him out, but that great quickness. He has that size, but his quickness is the big thing.
Robinson takes it away from McHale, and the ball is thrown away, and Barkley goes, oh boy.
He's out in the parking lot.
How's that for agility?
Lakers rebound on the move. And it's Scott who is knocked down as Perkins comes to him aggressively. Scott quickly gets up. The Lakers objecting to Perkins' defensive effort. We'll take another look and check it out.
And you see that Perkins just about gets there in time, but boy, he makes a hard foul around the head. And Scott went down with his feet. Could have gotten seriously hurt that time. Somebody went for the ball, and Perkins now is really in a position where he creates a real tough foul on Scott, and Scott just had no control whatsoever. Those are the most difficult things to be involved in, and particularly when you're a guy like Scott hitting the ground. And that
Ewing, shot clock running down. Oh, Rodman and Williams having words and bumping each other as they head down court, and a double technical call or double foul. Let's see. Oh, they were pumping each other pretty good. Apparently a double foul.
Two tough rebounders in there going at it, and then the talking on both parts, and the arm swinging and pushing.
Guard and Kenosha native Nick Van Exel won't play for the rest of the regular season. That's his punishment for shoving referee Ron Gerritsen in last night's game at Denver. Van Exel has been suspended for 7 games and fined a record $25,000. In all, it'll cost Van Exel $187,000.
It just sends a bad message. You know, it's bad. And I want him to know that. You just don't do it. It's a respect that you've got to have for the referee.
Maurice Lucas, acquired on waivers, brought leadership and his patented enforcer attitude.
Kevin Johnson, and no whistle. The Suns for years have been considered...
Series up to this point, they want to pay special attention to him. Well, already, as Patrick Ewing is hit with a technical foul for having a little bit too much to say. And I think it goes back to when we mentioned Pat Riley was upset when there was no call against Ewing on the low post possession that he had.
Ewing was also called for that last foul, although he took a good shot from Cartwright.
Get there to keep Cartwright out of the post. Cartwright runs right into him. Ewing felt it should have been a foul on that court.
Ewing rebounded by Pippen. Paxson has a 3-on-2. Pitched out to Pippen. Look out. Nick Pivetta with the foul called against the Knicks. It's called on Rivers, his second. The Knicks are over the foul limit, so once again the Bulls to the line.
Well, Rivers realizes that there are numbers against them, so he tries to take the foul out in front there before Chicago has a chance to convert. A few moments ago, I said Michael Jordan was mad because he had set the screen, and Mason, trying to stay with his man Grant, tried to send the message to Michael Jordan, don't screen me from the backside where I can't see you, or else you're going to receive.
Ewing, Oakley and Smith up front, and a foul is called, and Jordan is upset. He claims he was kneed. Jordan picks up his second.
Michael Jordan takes pride in his defense. He feels that time that the leg by Ewing stuck out there prevented him from getting over the top of that screen. He doesn't like the fact that Ewing...
Shot clock at 2. Williams is fouled by Ewing. And Scott Williams shaken up.
The message was clear. No easy baskets. The patience of Pippen at the end, knowing the clock was running down, still has time to dump it off. Ewing not going to let Williams get the easy score.
That's 4.
Fosterem, jak sobie poradzi. No, na siłę nie ma szans Foster. I kolejna prowokacja.
It's ricocheting off.
Rivers and Starks back into the backcourt for New York now.
Oh, boy. Stark just ran right into a wall of white shirts. Keep an eye on Starks now as he steps into this group here now. Now watch what happens. I would say Davis and Thompson said hello.
And now Doc Rivers talking to John Starks. John Starks has become famous or infamous, if you're a Knicks fan, for losing.
Now Pressey up top here is right. Pressey got about Darrell Griffin. Jeff Malone rests here to start the fourth quarter. Deshaun Elliott to the left corner to Strickland. Strickland left to right in the paint. Stock knocks it away. Strickland gets it back. Stolen by Bailey. Down court Stockton. Chased by Sidney Green, and Stock waits for the foul. Now that could be a breakaway flagrant foul.
No question, he was fouled from behind, and it was the way he fouled him. So I'm sure, I'm positive this will be what you would call a breakaway, not a breakaway foul, a flagrant foul.
Stockton very wise. Possession. Shoot 2 and get possession. No good. Rebound knocked down. Carl's got it. The mailman got slapped in the eye. We got a timeout. 20 seconds. Hopefully he's all right.
And David Robinson was the one that hit Karl Malone in the face. Karl Malone is on the floor, and I tell you, the way he's moving his legs, it just might be David Robinson right here. Boy, he just reaches like he wants to punch the basketball, and his finger went straight into Karl Malone's eye.
Sparky, the Jazz trainer, out working over him. Out of mailman holding his forehead. 4 minutes and 17 seconds left of the game.
Barkley, another three-point attempt with 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Rockets up 31-21, and looks like Cassell and Ainge got involved. Cassell pointing at Ainge walking towards him, and double technicals have been called by Bill Oates. So the battle continues. Danny Ainge and the rookie Sam Cassell having words. Double technical on Ainge and Cassell. Yep. And Cassell's teammates are trying to calm him down. And Dick Pavetta comes over to tell us double personal and double technicals called on Ainge and Cassell.
Well, look at the right side of your screen down on the bottom over there, over on the right. Both Danny Ainge and Sam Cassell, the rookie, getting all tied up there, and they start shoving away. First, Dick Pavetta, I thought, was going to call just a double foul, and as he turned to go to the scorer's table, referee Billy Oates saw more talking and more motions for going together and decided to call the double technical.
Both teams are expecting a much more physical contest tomorrow night, ignited by last night's incident in the fourth quarter in which Scottie Pippen took down Bill Laimbeer. After that play, Michael Jordan said that Bill Laimbeer told him that he would break his neck. Of course, all of that is rhetoric. But if the Pistons win tomorrow night, that would break Chicago's back, while the victory by the Bulls would have the Pistons looking over their shoulders.
Scott takes it down. Here's Jones. Foul by Oakley. Basket won't count.
Trying to make that pass on the run and leaving his feet, and then a hard foul by Charles Oakley to send Eddie Jones to the line.
Oakley, Allen Houston, Larry Johnson starts, and Oakley gets into it with Sabalos, but away from the official site. Here's Starks, Johnson, and O'Neal. Jump ball call.
Oh, wow.
Wow, Joe Crawford called a jump ball.
He swallowed him.
And spit him back out. Oh, take a look at this one.
Larry Johnson goes into Shaq to get the foul, and that's why they didn't give it to him, because he wasn't looking to score. He was just looking to get fouled, and he did. But he didn't get it because of that.
Larry Johnson picks up the technical. He's having a forgettable third quarter.
Yeah, he is.
L'équipe aussi, et à la limite, amener l'équipe à son équipe. C'est ça le vrai travail d'un champion, nous disait Jabbar.
Vous les voyez champions, vous, Orlando, un jour, de toute façon?
Oui, je dirais dans 3 ans. Ils peuvent aller en finale de conférence cette saison, finale NBA la saison prochaine et champion l'année après. Je crois que Brian Hill aimerait bien ce scénario-là. Voilà un autre homme qui sera décisif dans ce plan-là, Anthony Hardaway.
Derek Harper à 3 points.
Pass under to Shaq. Foul basket count. Through the count. Oh, Shaq had to dive over some customers. He landed head first on the cement, and they got to get to him in a hurry. Fisher's down there with him. He dove head first to avoid landing on those ladies down there in the front row. And listen to this ovation. That's scary.
Chick, those ladies don't know how lucky they are that Shaq is athletic, because that's 340 pounds coming at you. If that lands directly on you, you're out of here, baby.
But he made the leap to get over them, too.
Purposely.
That's what I'm telling you about his footwork this year. It's so incredible. Now he'll go to the line and try to complete a three-point play. The Lakers lead for the first time tonight.
Speaking of quickness, Barkley hit his head on the floor when he went down. Let's hope he's all right.
Timeout, Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico gets a timeout. Barkley also playing with a sore ankle here. And Lacerte, the Boston Celtics, the trainer for Team USA, out looking at Charles Barkley. He popped his head hard right on the floor and right near a group of photographers.
Yeah, I don't know whether he hit a camera. It looked like, Bob, as he might have came down, he might have caught the back of a camera. To see all the cameras laying there on the guy's lap, the photographers. I hope that he did not split his head. You see Ed Laserte out there now looking, and he's got the towel. That's normally a sign of possibly a cut. We'll have to wait.
14-8, and it looks as though he will not be staying in the game. Karl Malone replacing him. He will shoot the free throws for Barkley.
Now remember the NBA rule as we watch this. Charles Barkley going in. Jose Ortiz tries to block the shot. He catches Charles, who's going to go in the locker room now with Ed Laserte, and as he falls there, it looked like he might hit his head on the camera. Now let me go through the NBA rule, which is different than the...
Know what I bring to the table at night, whatever, knowing how I come to play the game. I come to play the game like the game should be played. I don't take no shorts. I don't respect nobody on the court but my teammates, and that's how I come to the game. If you in my way, I got to go through you.
On the court, Oakley is always focused, always intense, and always growling. He grimaces but never smiles, snickers but never laughs. It's not that he's unhappy, but for Oakley, basketball is no joking matter.
Bonner, Oakley, and Ewing on the front line. Starks and Harper in the backcourt. The outside official, Bruce Alexander, with the call against the Blazers.
On the exchange underneath, John Starks and Bonner exchanging. Pick being set by Bonner to get free by Starks.
Buck Williams trying the outside shot. Here's Cliff Robinson, and he's fouled. It counts. He got the call on the continuation. Rolando Blackman all over the back of Cliff Robinson, who was shaken up.
Robinson again so mobile, and Blackman with a semi-chokehold, unable to stop him from making the shot.
And has been called a flagrant foul.
With a look at it now. Rolando, fine gentleman that he is, I'm sure didn't mean to commit a flagrant, but boy, it sure looked rough for Robinson.
Rolando was going to go up against Hakeem Olajuwon, upon occasion against Shaquille O'Neal. It's kind of a change-up defense. Oh, Mason and Houston in a collision, and Mason just dispatched Houston.
Well, Mason gave Houston an unnecessary elbow. Houston was just there.
Foul was called on Houston, and Mason to the line.
Take a look at Mason now. Driving, gets around Oakley inside. And Mason delivers some of his Bush League follow-ups that he'll do many times.
Correct.
The rhythm, you got to pound the guy a little bit.
Now Mason is playing Johnson aggressively, and a foul. Pushing and shoving between the two.
Mason doesn't like the fact that Larry Johnson's been doing as well as he's been doing, and he's going into phase 2 of his style of play.
Stockton slowed down to draw the foul. He did not like that hard foul by Charlie Ward. Ward got a hand in his... And a bit too physical. Oh, in Houston, and Morris having words. And how rare it is to see Allen Houston get involved. With the drop step coming up short. And Stockton took a shot to the side of the head. 22nd timeout has been called. And he's drawn blood.
Ewing on that miss. Stockton gets hit by Charles Oakley. Charles, with his very active hands, clipped him.
And we mentioned earlier that there was an incident on the Utah Jazz bench between Greg Morris and head coach Jerry Sloan, something that has occurred on several occasions.
But missing in the first matchup was another player the Knicks would make Boyle.
You don't want no part. You don't want none of this. All right? You don't want none of this. You don't want none of this. Forget about the game. We forget about the game.
I don't know if I'd make Glenn Rice mad.
I don't think I would either.
That young fella may not do that again. He may not provoke me like that again.
The Knicks should hope not. In Rice's rage, he became the only player other than Jordan to top 30 twice against New York this season. And the Hornets are the only Eastern team to win the season series and only team in the NBA to beat the Knicks 3 times. Many think the Knicks dug their own hole by way of the LJ trade, although some don't want to discuss it.
I can't hear y'all because I got my headphones on, but I'm pretty sure y'all can hear me. Leave me the alone.
Now hear this.
And the Spurs get together. Steve Smith and Chuck Person get together. And Chuck Person goes into one of his best fadeaway acts, saying that he fouled me, and Smith is saying he fouled me. And they went at it. And Steve Smith, one of the great talkers, and Person.
Malone putting the move on Jackson. Nice feed. Terry Catledge able to hit, and Jackson is shaken up.
As he went down on that play, I don't know exactly how it happened. You can see the pain. Malone, in a very determined drive, lost his balance, got rid of the ball at the end of the move, though.
Catledge bothered recently by a injured right hand. In fact, 0 for 6 from the field in the Bullets' last game against the LA Clippers, and went scoreless in 14 from three-point range. And now words between Ewing, who's pointing at John Williams. Coulter looked to break it up.
It's been coming, Marv. Saw that several minutes ago.
Ewing on a loose ball foul. Yes, you mentioned it earlier, focusing in on the fact that Ewing was annoyed with John Williams and Charles Jones, who are forced to play him over aggressively because they give away several inches.
See Ewing pushing him there. Just a reminder that he has felt his body on him enough and doesn't want to feel it quite that way anymore. From Williams' perspective, though, he's got to play overly aggressive to deal with Patrick Ewing.
And a technical foul called on Ewing.
That might have come from the pointing. It's an outward display of intimidation by Patrick.
Rick Pitino questioning it, as is Patrick Ewing. Mallory hits the technical. And the Bullets lead by 4, 113-109 with...
It's in the good fight, no finish. Coleman a double-double with his 10th board. And as we emerge here, wow, look at Coleman and Williamson. Wow, right in front of us. DC is just unloading on Williamson. And this is a mob scene here in Sacramento. Derek Coleman and Williamson glaring at each other earlier, and now it all breaks loose. You could see it brewing, and now it bubbles over. Well, they are gone for sure, and certainly for more games than just tonight. Derek Coleman being escorted off.
We can find him. There's Derek Coleman. Let's see what happens here. Looked like Williamson was trying to reach in and deflect the pass, and I don't know what happened after that, but Williamson charges Derek Coleman. Threw a forearm shiver at him. It glanced off Derek's head, but then a couple punches landed, no question about. Boom, there's one by Derek. There's my partner bailing out of the way.
Hey, a couple of heavyweights right there.
Oh, you aren't kidding. That was a good decision on your part.
Unless I'm reffing it, I'm watching.
You don't want to ref that one either.
I don't need a good seat for that.
No.
So now, in an 87-81 game with 6:02 to.
Yeah, crowd thinks this is Starcade 97 here.
Malone, that's that shot he's hit for so many years. Didn't do it that time. Shaq kind of roughed up Bosco and commits a foul. That was kind of a frustration foul, wasn't it?
I see the sheriff in him out and got to the rebound. And, you know, I guess Shaq made up his mind he wanted it. And once he didn't get it, he tried to take some of Jake Bosco's head along with him.
He got Jack man. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Devin George with a 2. Rebound Bosco. He goes up and ripped it away from Malone.
Jake did and was effective. On this end, the rebound by Jake. Sean didn't take it to Shaq. He tried to shoot.
Drexler back. Corbin misses the layup. Brown blocked by Williams. And a jump ball. And that's been another story. The Blazers' ability to block close-in shots all night. They've had 8 or 9.
Aggressive, swarming defense just coming through for the Portland Trail Blazers. Mike Brown had a layup out of nowhere. I think it was either Cliff Robinson or Curry coming to block it. Here it is here.
Well, you see them tie up right at the end. Mike Brown comes in and they rip the ball away. But they'll get a jump ball.
This is badly from three-point range. Nothing will go down. Kendall Gill missed the lay-in down there. He steals it from Avent. Now the foul, and look out. Look out is right. Skiles and Gill. This is going to be interesting what they do here right now. Avent had possession of that ball, lost the ball. As Gill was going, he got fouled hard, which you should expect in a game like this. You know that you're going to go to the foul line and shoot too. Now it's going to be interesting to see what they say, what the call is going to be.
The officials tonight, Daryl Garrettson, Ron Elysiak, and David Jones.
Well, Elysiak has the call. The foul is on Avent. And the technical foul is on Kendall Gill. Now you're going to see they strip right here, and as they move on the baseline, strong foul right there. All right, now, Gill, I see today, you got to be really careful so that you don't get thrown out of the game because it is so costly today.
Skiles, by the way, sunk the technical free throw. 54-23 Orlando with 6:20 to go. David Jones, Elysiak talking about...
The Blazer defense has been brilliant here in the fourth. Scottie Pippen draws the foul, and Pippen hurt as he falls down. A little further out than perhaps he thought when he attempted the dunk, and went down very hard, and he is obviously shaken up.
Well, Scottie momentarily waiting for the play to develop. A little cross screen. Steve Smith trying to free up Rasheed Wallace. Coming to the left block. The play was slow in developing, and Scottie Pippen saw an opening, but you're right, Mike. He left too early, the launching pad right around that dotted line, and couldn't get all the way to the basket.
The officials were discussing whether or not it should be a flagrant foul as Pippen gets up. Mike Mathis chatting with Mike Dunleavy. We're going to have
Rivers with a strong move. It won't go. Ewing. No basket. No basket. Loose ball foul called in the Knicks. And a technical foul called. Patrick Ewing is livid. And Pat Riley is now giving it to him. No caption needed for those comments.
Hard screen, and Doc Rivers is in the middle, and the call is Ewing with the push. It was ever so gentle, but it was awfully obvious as he throws it down. He does not, and I mean, he is not happy with the call, and Steve Javie has one of the quickest keys in the NBA, wastes no time in letting Ewing know he's right on the line. Already off to Mason down the left wing side. Went to the left hand. What a move by Anthony Mason. And a technical foul has been called against the Knicks. And apparently John Starks has been ejected. We'll have to get another look at what developed.
Well, Pete Myers is definitely involved, and Pat Riley right furious with referee Bob Delaney, as apparently John Starks has been thrown out of this ballgame. And Pete Myers, who has that ability to get under your skin, he's a feisty player, always banging into people, always has a little word to say, obviously did something to get under John Starks' skin.
Yes, when Pete Myers was a member of the New York Knicks, he and Patrick Ewing had some problems during practice sessions. In fact, there are some who believe that led to the departure of Pete Myers, who was an important player in terms of the pressing defenses of Rick Pitino. But John Starks has been ejected.
Let's look at in the middle of your screen here. Here's where all the action is, where John Starks and Pete Myers are. Let's take a look and see what happened. Obviously, nothing physical happened there, or at least we couldn't see it, but the referees have been looking ever since the middle of last year, and certainly into the playoffs, much more aware of the trash talking and the taunting.
And John Starks is headed back to the next dressing room. Technical foul. Here is a look back at the scenario.
John Starks is going to put too much steam on this pass to Pete Myers. Referee Bob Delaney right underneath the basket on top of it viewed that as an unsportsmanlike act and tossing John Starks out of the ball game with just one technical foul. You can do that. And also,
it's not been the case this season, and this is where the new defensive rules have had an effect. The Knicks are not able to clamp down on opponents the way they have on the pass. Foul is called, and it is a flagrant. Tony Kukoc taking a shot. Anthony Mason called for the flagrant, and Kukoc is shaken up. As I said, the Knicks have not been able to clamp down, but that was an over-aggressive move by Mason.
Well, Tony able to beat Charles Oakley here. Mason coming over to help out, and the obvious is the last couple of times that people have gone to the basket, the Knicks have taken hard fouls. The last time Hubert Davis was involved, he took one, and here Mason making sure that it's not going to be a three-point play. That was excessive, and that's why Kukoc will get the 2 free throws and possession of the basketball.
Ewing, and Sally just can't stay with him. No, John, the Knicks are trying to force the tempo. Now some jawing between Orlando Woolridge and Patrick Ewing.
It's Lambier and Ewing. Ewing was fouled by Sally, but was angered by Wells.
So I guess what I saw was Woolridge being peacemaker.
Sally going in, fouling him from behind, and then double fouled by Lambier. That was a move by Lambier, though. You know, what was he going to accomplish? There's no way he was going to block Ewing. It was like an extra annoying foul. You know, let me hit him anyway, you know. Jess Kersey went over to Ewing to pull him down. And here's Ewing on his man. He's got Sally, and a little extra swat. It appeared that Ewing felt the presence of Lambier after he was fouled by...
I mean, Sally got 2 fouls.
Sally, and I think it's just the annoying quality of Bill Lambier that people are super sensitive to these days.
Patrick is off. Stutter step, goes inside, followed by Mason. He's rejected. Vandeweghe follows. He lost it off his fingertips, and they'll call a foul. It will be a loose ball foul on the Knicks. What a sequence. Anthony Mason's ball.
I'm interested in Mason and Lambier.
Oh, that has potential.
Yeah, well, Mason is a very quiet guy. Just gives...
Великолепно сейчас Шакил играет. Забрасывает практически все, что только можно.
And we get a whistle. And
a headbutt from Chris Morris to Kobe
Да, и
Bryant.
вот вздорный характер Коби Брайанта проявляется даже в его первом сезоне. Технический фол сейчас получит кто-то. Моррис или Брайант.
Well, it looks like the personal is against Kobe, and the technical is Chris Morris, yeah.
Так, Крис Моррис получает.
Chris Morris was doing his imitation of Dennis Rodman.
Пытались сейчас сыграть Юта. Не получилось против вязкой защиты. И столкнулись под кольцом два игрока той и другой команды.
Got himself up in the area. They made a nice little slip pass inside, committed to the block, but really didn't get there because Carr didn't go right up.
Shaq up and all right. Lakers have defended the pick
Так,
and
ну
roll
и
well. Ouch.
смотрите, как принял на себя Антон Карр.
And the Lakers looking to take the lead. And Worthy is hit and hit hard by a number of Pistons, including Lambeer and Dumars. And Lambeer may have picked up, we'll see, his third foul.
Well, it'll be the third foul on either player, Dumars or Lambeer, and probably Chuck Daly would say, hey, I'd rather have it on Lambeer, but it is on Dumars. Now here it is. This is where the Lakers have to do to play the game, out in the open court. And thank goodness James Worthy was not hurt on that play.
Timeout, Detroit. And now, Kareem and Rodman and several of the Lakers, Scott most of all.
Scott and Lambeer went at it, pushing each other, and that's when the other players got involved.
Now the Lakers have come out flying 8 for 8 from the field. Detroit only one basket. Lambeer has been slapped with a technical foul for unsportsmanlike conduct. Strom explaining to Chuck Daly.
Now that's a silly play by Bill Lambeer in a game that means so much to pick up a cheap technical foul.
Byron Scott could give the Lakers an 8. Cooper. Now Rodman with Rambis back. And they're going to call the foul on Rambis on the block.
Well, Dennis Rodman is very fortunate that he's a great athlete, because very easily he could have gotten seriously injured on this play. Now watch him going into the basket. Rambis is getting there late. It's amazing. He kept his eyes and he had the concentration on the basket even when he...
McKee with the step. Nice play. And the Mutombo is taken down. The foul is called. Sixers want a flagrant. The officials discussing it.
Can ill afford another injury. Dribble penetration. Here comes Shaq. Horace Grant comes over, takes the hard foul. And as the referees talk it over, we'll have to figure out whether or not it's a flagrant. But when you get inside, again, here comes the defense. Slow on the reaction is Rick Fox. Mutombo goes hard to the basket and gets the foul. So it appears that it's only going to be a 2-shot foul, not a
17. Crowd alive. Barkley with a monster drive and draws the foul.
Look at Alonzo pull the padding off the basket. He'd be very lucky here if he doesn't get a technical foul. Alonzo very upset, felt like he did not commit the personal foul.
That's his
and he
second.
took and just ripped the padding off the basket. So this Bud's for you right here, and he just takes it and rips it right off.
For you and me. Missed the slam. Barkley there to change the shot. Morning rebound.
See, they have no size on the floor right now. Here now, see if he comes down on Charles's head. Ow. Right there. Oh my goodness.
Oh my. Everybody in the NBA.
10. Dennis Johnson has 7. Henderson 9. Larry Bird has 6. It'll be Boston ball.
As Larry getting a little physical
Get out of my way, I should say, Mr. Cooper.
Who's on you, the guy who's on you, that's a good way of doing it if you're a good one-on-one player. Xavier McDaniel holding Dennis Rodman, and man's got to be careful.
Got to get a technical. I can't believe it hasn't been called. Well, I really credit the official for letting him express himself. I would have called. Deflected. Now it is Mason driving the baseline and drawing the foul. No basket. Mason getting a little pushy there. First time with Rodman, but he wisely walks away. Mason going one-on-one. The bump was called before the attempt.
You know what adds to the problem? The quarter. Anthony looks for Mason. He is fouled.
And Mason's going to fall, so he takes Isaiah with him for a ride. No problem.
Well, John, I look back in the second quarter and I think to myself as we watch this fast break.
Mason's strength just decides to take Isaiah unwillingly along for the ride. I think it's very significant now.
In that first half. Watch out now. We have Ewing and Willis nose to nose here now. See, and this we do not need. Both of these guys need to stay in the game.
Now Patrick Ewing has 3 personal fouls, as they call him on.
This could be a opposition low for the game. It's a 24-second violent. Anthony Mason in a shoving match, and that leads to Joe Crawford with the double technical.
Fourth quarter, and the frustration scuffle breaks out between Otis Thorpe and Anthony Mason. A couple of technicals result from that little skirmish.
Elo's first.
You know, Charles Smith is playing them. There's the squeeze. He fakes back out. They went back on the man. He found the little window, got up, and got it in. Tough shot. And feels good about it. And talking to Charles.
Garden, he's been the symbol of any Knick failures. The result of several factors. As look out, Myers getting involved. Davis and also trying to get to it. Scottie Pippen being ushered aside by the official, Bill Spooner. You know, when Pete Myers was a member of the New York Knicks, and I don't think many people are aware of it, he and Patrick Ewing did not get along well. One of the reasons that led to the departure of Myers, who was very effective during the days of Rick Pitino's pressing defense, Hubert Davis called.
Dantley fouled by Oakley, who doesn't like the call. And now Corzine and Mahorn have to be separated. These two teams have no love lost for each other. They were engaged in a huge melee earlier in the season and resulted in a lot of fines.
A lot of fights. As a matter of fact, they probably paid for a
Threaton in the front court off to the right against Washington. Brown hands to Threaton off the ball. You've got Sellers and Woolridge.
Offensive foul Madden calls on Sellers.
Тоже до жесткого выяснения отношений дошло.
And Woolridge and Sellers are talking about it.
Sellers still going at it.
Продолжают разговаривать. Селлерс с Woolridge'ем.
Sixers in the penalty. Mark Davis for another foul. They're going to get Surrey here riding Iverson, I think.
They could get a double foul. Yeah, on Lang and Mark Davis for throwing a couple bows at each other down low. Take a look at Mark Davis, upset about the last call. Take a look at Lang, sir. Boom, there's the elbows and the pushing. Good call by the official.
First. 2 minutes remaining. Surrey wins his way to the goal, count it, and a foul. Mark Davis is furious as he is called for the foul after helping himself.
Porter to Garnett. Garnett's got 9, 4 from Guglielmo. Marbury on the bench with 4. Hasn't played at all in this second quarter. Great pass inside. Porter to Garrett. Knocked away by Coleman, who wags, and that's a technical foul on Derek Coleman. He was wagging his
finger at Garrett saying, you can't do that here, partner. And they nail him for it.
Great defense by Derek Coleman. Terry Porter makes a great pass. Great recovery by Derek Coleman. Great block shot. And he gives him the Dikembe Mutombo. No.
And here's Terry Porter at the